Hi, my name is Julie, and I chose this topic, the phoneme R as in raw, because I thought it was really important to research and put together a mini lesson on the different ways of teaching the R as in raw sound effectively. I think that this is one of the most difficult sounds to master, and a lot of my second graders struggle with it too. Especially the ones that are in speech classes, and I really learned a lot on some techniques I could use as a second grade teacher also. I would probably teach this to my ESL students depending on their level of proficiency and individual needs. I think it's really important for TESOL educators to to know about the different techniques on how to teach the sound. It is very important for the students to learn this pronunciation correctly so that they can be understood by many that they're trying to communicate with. As an ESL teacher, it would benefit you to know the phonemic awareness background of teaching and also the structure of the sound in the English language. So I hope you learned something new and exciting from my presentation. In thinking about a clear and accurate explanation of the pronunciation points, of teaching the phoneme as in raw, I revisited the recommended readings from Module 3 and 4 and reflected upon Larson Freeman's form, meaning, and use framework when organizing my thoughts around how and when I would teach this phonics skill. The first one I put on my slideshow is a form, and it's pretty much how do you say it? Form relates to the physical articulation, such as the tongue placement, lip rounding, and vocal cord vibration. The is a voiced sound. The second box I put was meaning. What are the meaning of words? This piece focuses on the meaning of words which contain the sound that can enhance the learner's understanding and retention of this phoneme work. And last but not least, the use. It's very important for language learners to be actively engaged in meaningful communication and interaction. My takeaway from reading about Diane Lars Freeman's theory was that she had mentioned it's not all about memorizing the words and all the rules, even those are important things to remember, but it's more important on things that you need to keep in mind. How is the student feeling about learning the language? How is the student feeling about entering a new country? Um, who do they talk to? And also, where does the student learn best? And how does the student learn best? Those are very important things to keep in mind when we are designing lessons around ESL uh, learning. We're all going to practice pronouncing the R sound. The first thing that you need to make sure is the positioning of your tongue is correct. You're going to curl the tip of your tongue slightly upward and towards the roof of your mouth, but without touching it. The sides of your tongue should lightly touch the upper back teeth. You should have an open jaw. Keep your jaw slightly open but relaxed. And your vocalization, you're going to engage your vocal cords to produce that voice sound. You put your hands right on your vocal cords and says, "R." You can feel it vibrate. The airflow is allow air to pass freely over the back of your tongue while maintaining the tongue position described that I described earlier. So we're going to practice repeating the sound raw several times, focusing on making sure that our correct tongue position in the airflow is working correctly. Are you ready to try it with me? Raw, 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 raw. If you would like to continue practicing and feel like you need a little bit more practice today with the sound, feel free to click on the video posted. This was a fun game that I thought would be very engaging for the kids to try out. It's called Beach Ball Toss. And what the kids do is they just toss the beach ball around, and wherever their left thumb is, they say the phoneme and the word and pass it on to the next person. It's kind of a fun, engaging movement break, too. Beforehand, I would write all the R as in raw words on each section of the beach ball. And I would say, wherever your left thumb is um, on the ball is the word that you would read. And they would read it slowly and carefully. And once they kind of did really well with reading the word, a variation would be for them to, after they pass it and they read the word, put it in a sentence. And then after they accomplish that, depending on the individual child and where they are with the language, um, you could actually have the child say a sentence, and then I usually take my hands and I go and stretch that sentence out. Can you stretch it out and make it longer? And so they would use more language in that. I've also used different variations of it too. I will have a child say the word, and then a friend will have to repeat the word in a sentence. So there's lots of variations you could do with this. And I think the kids would really enjoy it. Some of my thoughts or reflections that I came up with were it is crucial to always show empathy towards learners. I dedicated time to reflect my practice and personal development as a student, and my understanding of phonemes has grown, boosting my confidence in teaching it. One of the challenges, that I feel would be in an ESL classroom, I've never had experience in that room. I mean, I'm a primary school teacher. Most of my experience has been in second grade, would be the unmotivated child. If you have a child that doesn't care to learn a new language, I feel that that would be a big challenge. Also, the lack of materials to teach with. I've been in a few systems that you kind of have to be creative and make up your own things. Um, I thought another challenge might be different languages in the classroom. If you have two or three different languages that you're trying to teach, and they have different uh, sounds that they're learning from their native language. The frustration levels could be running high. Just practice and sometimes the drills that you do might frustrate them. So it's important to keep in mind that. And also lack of self confidence in themselves. and afraid to take chances and real quiet, and you can't really hear them pronounce much. So those I think would be a few challenges. My exploration section, I would like to research more on the teaching of phonemes. And I also would like to connect with other ESL educators, maybe on Facebook or other networking on the computer. I think that would really benefit me in the long run. When do we use the letter R? Words containing the sound in the English language are the word initial positions, such as red and rice. The medial positions, where the is in the middle of the word, is an example would be carry, berry. The word final position would be the at the end of the word. Car, star, far. And there's also consonant clusters such as terrain and strain. It's important to remember that in some dialects, the R is linked to other words, such as you might say the car is, but if you're from London, you might say the car is, the cause. So it sounds like it's like connected to each other.